questioning the commitments to the US on agriculture. Farmers were concerned as well. There were conflicting statements. The US trade representative, of course, had said that the agriculture sector in India still is going to see some protectionism. That's something that India is insistent about, but there were others who were speaking a different tune. Would this then be an important clarification that has come in?
In a way, yes, it's a clarification. Also, if you look at the wordings, it still reflects the fact that it's work in progress, which is what it is. It is an interim agreement. And even the interim agreement seems to be work in progress, with the final touches yet to be put in. If you look at the fact sheet, is essentially the core of it is just four things. It says India will eliminate or reduce tariffs. And the earlier statement was that India will eliminate tariffs. So that's a very significant clarification that it will reduce tariffs, and that's what the Indian government has also been saying. The second, it says that India intends to buy American product and not India will buy American product. And obviously, India always has had the intention of buying American products. And as the Commerce Minister had explained, that we were anyways going to buy the Boeing planes and defense equipment, which will fill up most of the $500 billion that we're talking about. The only question mark was, will that happen in a 5-year period, or will it take a longer time? Because it takes a lot of time to manufacture Boeing planes, so it may not happen within that 5-year period. But it's more of an intention. It also said that India and US will talk about the rules of origin and of interference by non-market economies. And obviously our concern is that the Chinese should not be setting up manufacturing in the US and then exporting to India. And the US had the same concerns. It was mutual concern. And those are the key and core of the clarifications. The other fourth point that was of concern was the tax on digital trade. And that was very significant because the push has been that anything being sold over the internet, there should not be any tax. So somebody sitting in US can sell into India without any taxes, whereas somebody sitting in Delhi and selling to an Indian market will have to pay taxes. So that's a non-level playing field. So it's a matter of significant concern. And again, that has been clarified that India and US will be working towards figuring out how to solve that issue. They have their own point of view. India has its point of view. So largely what has happened was that the US also has its domestic political requirements, and it had to satisfy that. And therefore, some of the statements we can clearly say that they misspoke on those statements because they did not accurately represent what was the agreement between the US and India. And therefore that left the Indian government a bit struggling because the opposition tried to pounce on it and it became a political issue. Now with this clarification, it points out that what has been assumed on the Indian side by the opposition and by those who were afraid of what the agreement was, those fears are not substantiated. The clarification statement clearly shows that the points where there is a concern specifically on agriculture are also without a foundation, and these will be work in progress. A agreement always is a give and take. There will surely be some things that India is compromising on, but are they significant? Are they substantial? Do they hurt the interest of the farmers? I think that has been clarified, and it's not seems to be something which is hurting the interest of the Indian farmers.
Okay, let me